Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Spoken English Podcast.
You will never get today back. Not this hour, not this exact conversation. None of it.
That's a heavy way to start an episode.
It's meant to be, because most of us live like we have unlimited days, and we don't.
So today we're talking about something a little uncomfortable.
Don't waste your life. Not in a dramatic quit your job way, in a real, everyday way.
The small ways we let time slip through our hands without even noticing.
Exactly. And by the end of this conversation, I want you to look at your own day a little differently. Hey, English learners, welcome back to the Spoken English Podcast, your cozy little place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Mira.
And I'm Sam, and today's topic made me a little nervous to prepare for, honestly.
Why nervous?
Because it made me think about my own habits, and not all of them looked great.
Same here, if I'm honest.
This episode is B1 to B2 level, so we'll keep the English clear even when the topic gets a little deep.
Later in Word Tour, we'll slow down some strong words connected to time, meaning, and living fully.
And in Say It Better, we'll take simple, honest thoughts about time and turn them into fuller, more natural English sentences.
So let's get into it. Don't waste your life. Sam, when was the last time you looked back at your day and felt like you actually used it well?
Honestly, I have to think about that. It's not an easy answer.
Take your time.
I think it was a weekend, actually. I spent the whole day outside, no phone, just walking and talking with a friend.
What made that day feel different?
I wasn't checking the time constantly. I wasn't thinking about what I should be doing instead.
You were just there.
Exactly, just there. And most days don't feel like that.
What do most days feel like instead?
Honestly, a bit like autopilot. Wake up, work, scroll, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat.
That word, scroll, comes up twice.
It should come up more than that if I'm being fully honest.
I think a lot of people will relate to that pattern, though.
I think so too, and that's part of why it feels okay even when it isn't really.
Let's talk about that, actually. Why does wasting time feel so normal now?
I think it's because everyone around us is doing it too.
So it doesn't stand out.
Right, if everyone is on their phone during dinner, it doesn't feel strange anymore.
It becomes the background of normal life.
Exactly, and once something becomes background, we stop noticing it at all.
That's actually a little scary when you say it like that.
It is. I don't think anyone plans to waste their life. Nobody wakes up and decides that.
No, it happens in tiny pieces. 10 minutes here, 30 minutes there.
And each piece feels harmless on its own.
But they add up to something much bigger over months and years.
That's the part that gets me. It's never one big decision. It's 1,000 small ones.
Let's talk about your phone specifically, since we mentioned scrolling.
Oh, here we go.
How much time do you think you spend on your phone in a normal day?
Honestly, probably more than I'd like to admit.
Have you ever actually checked the number?
Once, and I immediately regretted checking it.
What did it say?
Enough hours that I don't want to repeat the number out loud on a podcast.
That bad?
That bad. And the worst part is, I couldn't even remember most of what I looked at.
That's such an important point. Time disappears, but you don't even get a clear memory in exchange.
Exactly. It's not like I was learning something amazing or having a deep conversation, just scrolling.
Can I push back a little here, though?
Please, I need someone to defend me a little.
I don't think all phone time is wasted time. Some of it is real connection, real learning, real rest.
That's true. I do learn things from videos sometimes.
So maybe the real question isn't how much time, but what kind of time.
Meaning some scrolling feels alive and some scrolling feels empty.
Exactly that distinction.
How do you tell the difference in the moment, though? It doesn't always feel obvious.
I think one sign is how you feel afterward, energized or a little emptier than before.
That's actually a really useful test.
If you finish and you feel worse, more tired, more comparing yourself to others, that's usually the empty kind.
And if you finish and you learned something or laughed or connected with someone,
then it wasn't really wasted, even if it was technically scrolling.
that reframes it a lot for me, honestly.
Let's talk about comparison for a second, because I think that's a huge part of this topic.
comparing our lives to other people's lives online.
Yes, exactly. Do you ever catch yourself doing that?
Constantly, if I'm being honest. Someone posts a trip, another person posts a new job, another person posts their perfect morning routine.
And how does that usually make you feel?
Behind, somehow, even when my own life is actually fine.
That word, behind, is really interesting.
It feels like everyone else is further along in some invisible race.
But here's the strange thing. Nobody actually agreed to that race.
Nobody sent me the rules, and yet I'm still running.
That's such a good way to put it. We're comparing our full, complicated life to someone else's highlight reel.
Right. We don't see their bad days, their doubts, their boring Tuesdays.
We only see the best 5 seconds of their week.
And somehow that becomes the standard we measure our whole life against.
That's a real way to waste time and energy, honestly. Chasing someone else's highlight reel instead of living your own life.
I've never thought about it exactly like that before.
Let's talk about procrastination now, because I think that's connected to all of this too.
Oh, my old friend, procrastination.
What does procrastination usually look like for you?
Delaying something important and doing something easy and unimportant instead.
Give me a real example.
I need to write something important for work, and instead, I clean my entire kitchen.
Suddenly a very productive person.
Extremely productive, just about the wrong thing completely.
Why do you think we do that?
I think the important task feels scary, so the easy task feels like relief.
So it's not really laziness.
Now, I don't think it usually is. It's more like avoiding a feeling, not avoiding work itself.
That's a really different way to see it.
It changed things for me when I realized that. I stopped calling myself lazy and started asking what I was actually avoiding.
And what do you usually find when you ask that?
Usually fear. Fear of doing it wrong or fear it won't be good enough.
So procrastination is often fear wearing a comfortable disguise.
That's exactly it. It doesn't look scary from the outside. It just looks like cleaning a kitchen.
Let's talk about someday now. Do you ever catch yourself saying that word?
All the time. Someday I'll travel more. Someday I'll learn to paint. Someday I'll call that old friend.
And does someday usually arrive?
Rarely, if I'm being honest with myself.
Why do you think that is?
Because someday isn't a real day on the calendar. It's not Tuesday. It's not next month. It's just a comfortable, distant idea.
So it protects us from actually starting.
Exactly. As long as it's someday, I never have to feel the fear of actually trying today.
That's such an honest way to put it.
It's a little uncomfortable to say out loud, honestly.
I think most people have a version of this, a someday list quietly sitting in the back of their mind.
A whole graveyard of some days.
That's dark, but accurate.
I contain multitudes.
Apparently dark multitudes today.
Fair enough.
I want to be careful here, though, because I don't want this episode to sound like rest is wrong.
That's important to say.
Resting is not wasting your life. Rest is part of a full life.
So what's the actual difference between rest and waste?
I think rest restores you. Waste just numbs you.
Say more about that.
A good nap, a quiet evening, a slow morning with coffee, that refills you.
And numbing?
Numbing is when you're avoiding a feeling by staying busy in an empty way, not actually resting at all.
So 2 hours of scrolling can either be rest or numbing depending on what's happening underneath.
Exactly. The outside action can look identical, but the inside experience is completely different.
That's such an important distinction because I think people feel guilty about all rest, even the healthy kind.
Right, and that guilt isn't helpful either. We're not trying to eliminate rest. We're trying to notice which kind we're choosing.
Rest to refill, not rest to disappear.
That's a beautiful way to say it. Let's talk about relationships for a moment, because I think time gets wasted there quietly.
How do you mean?
Not calling people we care about, because we assume there's always more time later.
That hits close, honestly. I have a friend I haven't properly talked to in months.
What's stopping you from reaching out?
Nothing real, actually, just this vague feeling that it's been too long now, so it would be awkward.
That feeling grows the longer you wait, too.
It really does. A week becomes a month, becomes 6 months, and suddenly it feels like a whole event to just say hello.
But it usually isn't once you actually do it.
No, usually the other person is just happy to hear from you.
So the imagined awkwardness is often bigger than the real awkwardness.
Every single time in my experience.
I think this is one of the quietest ways people waste their life, actually. Not through big mistakes, just through delayed connection.
Letting relationships fade simply because reaching out felt like effort.
And effort we assumed we'd have time for later. Let's talk about something I think is really common. Staying busy as a way to avoid something.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Filling every hour with tasks so there's no space left to actually feel anything.
Oh, I know this one personally. Being busy can almost feel like an achievement.
Right, like if your calendar's full, your life must be going well.
Even if half of that fullness is just noise.
Exactly. Busy has become almost a badge of honor in a strange way.
People say, "I'm so busy," almost proudly, even when they're exhausted.
Have you ever used busy as an excuse, even to yourself?
Constantly, honestly. I'm too busy to think about that right now is a sentence I say a lot.
What are you usually avoiding thinking about when you say that?
Bigger questions, I think. Am I actually happy with this direction? That kind of thing.
So busy becomes a shield against harder questions.
A very convenient shield, too. Nobody questions someone who's simply busy.
That's such a clever disguise for avoidance.
It really is. Busy looks responsible from the outside, even when it's just noise on the inside.
I think that's one of the sneakiest ways time gets wasted, honestly. Not through obvious laziness, but through constant distracting motion.
Motion that feels like progress, but isn't actually going anywhere new.
Like running on a treadmill and calling it a journey.
That's uncomfortably accurate.
What would it look like to slow down enough to actually ask those bigger questions?
Honestly, probably scary at first. Silence makes room for thoughts you've been avoiding.
But maybe that discomfort is worth it compared to years of avoiding it.
When you put it that way, the discomfort sounds a lot smaller than the alternative.
Let's talk about something practical now, the "I'll be happy when" trap.
Oh, I fall into that one constantly.
Give me an example from your own life.
I'll be happy when I get that promotion. Or I'll relax properly once this project is finished.
And does happiness usually arrive on schedule like that?
Almost never. I get the promotion and there's already a new goal waiting.
So the finish line just keeps moving.
Constantly. It's like chasing a horizon. You never actually arrive.
That's such a clear way to describe it.
It took me a long time to notice the pattern, though. I just thought each new goal was simply the real one.
What changed for you?
I finished a big project last year, expecting to feel this huge relief and happiness.
And what happened instead?
A quiet Tuesday, honestly. I felt fine, but not the transformation I expected.
That's such an honest thing to admit.
It made me realize happiness was never really waiting at the finish line. It had to exist somewhere in the actual doing.
In the process, not just the result.
Exactly. And that's a much harder shift to make than just setting a new goal.
How are you trying to apply that now?
I try to notice small good moments during the work itself, not just after it's done.
Like what?
Like enjoying a good conversation with a coworker instead of only focusing on the deadline.
That's a really valuable shift, and I think a lot of listeners will recognize this pattern in their own lives.
I hope so, because realizing it changed how I think about my whole week, honestly.
Let's talk about something a little different now. Hobbies and passions people used to have.
Oh, I know this one. I used to play guitar all the time.
What happened to that?
Life happened, honestly. Work got busier and slowly the guitar just sat in the corner of my room.
How long has it been since you played?
Embarrassingly long, maybe 2 years.
Do you miss it?
I do, actually, more than I usually admit.
What's stopping you from picking it up again?
I think it's the feeling that I'm starting over, that I've lost my skill.
That fear of starting again as a beginner.
Exactly. It feels safer to just not try than to try and feel behind.
But not trying guarantees the same result every time, doesn't it?
That's true. Zero progress either way, but one way at least has a chance.
I think a lot of neglected hobbies live in that same fear.
The fear of being a beginner again, even at something you used to love.
What did you love about playing before the fear took over?
Just the feeling of being completely focused, forgetting everything else for a while.
That sounds like something worth protecting.
You're right, it really does when you say it like that.
I want to bring up regret now, because I think it's the real fear underneath this whole topic.
The fear of looking back one day and feeling like time slipped away?
Exactly. Have you ever thought about what you'd regret if nothing changed from today?
That's a heavy question for a Tuesday.
Try anyway.
Honestly, probably the guitar and that friend I haven't called.
Small things, not huge dramatic things.
Right, it's never the big scary stuff people imagine. It's these small, quiet neglects.
I think that's actually more useful to know. Regret usually isn't dramatic, it's small and repeated.
Which means the fix isn't dramatic either.
No, the fix is usually small too. One phone call, one guitar practice, one honest hour.
That feels a lot less overwhelming than change your whole life.
Exactly. Nobody needs to change their whole life this week, just one small, honest choice. So if someone is listening right now and they feel like they've been wasting time, what would you actually tell them?
I'd say don't try to fix everything today. Pick one thing.
Just one.
Just one. Maybe it's putting your phone in another room during dinner. Maybe it's calling that one person.
Small, specific, doable.
Exactly, because a small, real change beats a big imaginary plan every single time.
I really believe that too. This isn't about becoming a perfect, productive person overnight.
It's about noticing, gently, where your time is actually going.
And choosing, even in one small way, to spend it a little more honestly.
I like that word, honestly, more than productively.
Me too. Productivity can still feel empty. Honesty about your time feels different.
It feels more like actually living instead of just performing a busy life.
Can I share one more thought before we move on?
Of course.
I think the fear underneath all of this is that time is invisible until it's gone.
Meaning we don't feel a day disappearing, we only notice years later.
Exactly. A single wasted afternoon feels like nothing at the time.
But 1,000 wasted afternoons quietly become a wasted decade.
That's such a sobering way to put it.
It is, but I don't think it has to feel hopeless. Awareness alone changes things.
How so?
Once you actually notice a pattern, you can't fully unsee it anymore.
So even this conversation today might change something small.
I think it already has, honestly, just from saying these thoughts out loud.
That's a hopeful place to stand, actually. Not guilt, just awareness.
Awareness feels a lot lighter to carry than guilt does.
It really does. Let's slow down now and look at some strong words from today's conversation. This is Word Tour.
Our first word is meaningful.
Meaningful.
Meaningful means having real value or importance, not empty or pointless.
You could say, I want my evenings to feel more meaningful, not just full.
Or, a short, meaningful conversation matters more than hours of empty scrolling.
Our next word is procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
To procrastinate means to delay doing something, usually something important, often by doing something easier instead.
You could say, I tend to procrastinate when something feels overwhelming and I choose easier tasks instead.
You could say, instead of procrastinating, I broke the task into smaller steps.
Our next word is regret.
Regret.
Regret means feeling sad or sorry about something you did or something you didn't do.
You could say, I don't want to regret not calling my old friends.
Or, most people regret the things they never tried more than the things they did.
Our next word is mindful.
Mindful.
Mindful means being fully aware and present in the current moment, not distracted.
You could say, I'm trying to be more mindful during meals instead of scrolling.
Or, a mindful walk feels completely different from a rushed one.
Our next word is fulfilling.
Fulfilling.
Fulfilling means giving a deep sense of satisfaction or happiness, not just passing time.
You could say, playing music again felt incredibly fulfilling.
Or, a fulfilling day doesn't always look busy from the outside.
Our final word today is intentional.
Intentional.
Intentional means done on purpose, with clear thought, not by accident or habit.
You could say, I'm trying to be more intentional with my evenings.
Or, an intentional choice feels very different from an automatic one.
So today's words were meaningful, procrastinate, regret, mindful, fulfilling, and intentional.
Now let's take some simple thoughts about time and make them sound fuller and more natural. This is Say It Better.
First sentence, I waste too much time.
True, but a little flat.
A better way to say it is, I spend a lot of time on things that don't actually feel meaningful.
That adds the real feeling underneath the simple sentence.
Next sentence, I always delay important things.
Clear, but plain.
A better version is, I tend to procrastinate when something feels overwhelming and I choose easier tasks instead.
That explains the why, not just the what.
Next sentence, I compare myself to others online.
Honest, but a little simple.
A better version is, I sometimes compare my whole life to other people's highlight reels, and it makes me feel behind.
That's a much richer and more honest sentence.
Next sentence, I should call my friend.
Simple and common.
A better version is, I've been meaning to reach out to an old friend, and I don't want more time to pass.
That carries the real weight of the feeling behind it.
Next sentence, I don't do my hobbies anymore.
Honest, a little sad.
A better version is, I used to play guitar regularly, and I miss how focused and present it made me feel.
That brings real emotion and detail into the sentence.
Final sentence, I want to use my time better.
Simple, a good intention.
A better version is, I want to be more intentional with my time so I don't look back with regret.
That's a powerful way to end this list.
So remember, adding a small, honest detail turns a flat sentence into a real one.
Before we close today, I want to ask you one more time. What's one small thing you're going to do differently this week?
Honestly, I think I'm going to call that friend. No more someday.
I love that. No more someday. What about you?
I think I'm going to put my phone in another room during dinner just to see how it feels.
Small but real.
Small but real. That's really the whole message of today.
You don't need a completely new life. You just need one honest choice today.
And then another one tomorrow.
And slowly, that becomes a life you didn't waste.
That's a beautiful way to end this.
I have my moments. Rare but powerful moments.
Thank you for listening to the Spoken English podcast today.
If this episode made you think even a little, tell us in the comments, what's one small thing you'll do differently this week?
Keep it honest, not perfect.
Keep practicing your English and keep paying attention to your days.
They add up faster than we think.
See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.